Hey guys, my name is Daniel, and first of all, I would like to introduce myself. I'm 31 years old and I'm a RC racer for more than 20 years. And the reason I would like to make a video is that I recognize that even people who race even longer than me, they have some issues regarding how to build shocks and how to build a clutch for a gas-powered car. So I decided to make a small video series about how to handle those things, and to get a bit familiar with this, I thought it would be very nice to have some kind of unboxing video of the new Serpent S750, the new 1/10 scale car from Serpent, which was released just a few weeks ago, and which is now basically on the track at the World Championship in Homestead, Miami, driven by all the Serpent drivers, I think. Of course, also driven by Dominic Reiner, and I even had a small, or I even had the chance to have my hands on the car at the German Nationals this year, which was held at my home track in Hamm. So the car is not really new to me, and I hope that I can introduce it to you. And yeah, I'm driving Serpent since 2011, starting with a 733, 747, 748, and nearly every step in between. And I think the most important thing, which is about that video series, is that I don't get paid for this. So everything I tell you is my own opinion, and I think that is the most important thing to say. So yeah, let's have us a look at the car, at the box, and even first time for me. So basically I already built some certain cars, so I know how it comes. And the main thing which is different from the 748 to the 750 is that it doesn't come with a printed manual. It comes with a USB stick, and there are 3 files on it. It's the instruction manual, of course, it's the basic setup, and you have an editable setup sheet where you can put your own things in. So I think you're very, let me say, well prepared going on the track. I already heard some comments about the printed manual thing and the USB stick thing, and from my point of view, there are more advantages in having a USB stick manual, because not only for the manufacturer, he's able to, let me say, change things faster than if you would have a printed manual. So and nearly everyone I know has some kind of a tablet at home, or a notebook, something like that. And for me, this is definitely the best solution, not only in case of handling, but also it's an environmental thing, you know. Not everyone needs a printed one, so USB stick thing is quite good. And yeah, that was about the instruction manual. Also comes with a pre-cut decal sheet with the serpent decals on it, and fuel tank, of course. The old wishbones to the front. Yeah. Basically, if you ever build an RC car, there is nothing new to it. So you can see the numbers on the back. So if you open the manual, there is a number, so that you can yeah, have the right back to the next assembly step. And I made some notes for me to, yeah, because I'm not a pro at making videos or something. So as you can see, I'm in my home with not a professional equipment. I hope the do-it-yourself mobile phone stand will last for this video. So yeah, let us go to the key features of the new Serpent 750. If you have a closer look at the car, it basically, there is not a lot of new things to it. The main thing is the rear end geometry. The lower pins moved a bit together. I think it's about 6 or 7 millimeters in total. You have the new wishbones, which are the well-known 977 style, so from the 1/8 scale car. We have a rear diffuser, which it's not an optional part. It's actually in the back. Let me have a look at it. Yeah, here it is. It's a rear diffuser which can be mounted to the car, which with only 2 screws. Put in the rear, the side, and can be mounted with 2 screws only. Yeah, we have the front bumper is updated compared to the 748 bumper. It has a lot deeper airflow channels, as you can see. We have mainly every aluminium part is different from the 748. It's not only because of reducing weight or something, it's also because of having a better accessibility to the front and rear differentials, so that you can wrench a lot more comfortable on the car than it was the case for the 748. Yeah, the front upper arm isn't any longer connected to the radio plate, so it has a lot that's affecting the flex is not that high with compared to the 748, and the front end of the radio plate is a bit different because to the surrounding changes had to be adapted a bit, and the servo saver is mounted to the radio plate with a bushing. With the 748 it was fixed with a screw which was going through the radio plate, and when removing the radio plate for the 750 you don't need to remove that screw. And sounds a lot different, but there are also some things to the 750 which are the same to the compared to the 748. Of course, and I think that is the most important for all the guys coming from the 748. Not only because of keeping some parts as spare parts, but I think it's yeah, it's nice to know that that the parts are the same. So the drivetrain, including diffs at the front and rear, is completely the same. So you can use the belts from the 748. You can use the diffs you may already build. You can use the pulleys you have. So that is the main thing which is the same to the 748. The big bore shocks from the 748, which are also used in the 750. Rear uprights are the same, steering blocks are the same, of course the clutch is the same, and the complete two-speed assembly is also the same. Also some smaller plastic parts can be used from the 748, so basically yeah, a lot of things. And maybe we can have a look at some more parts. Let me open the back for the radio plate, so maybe all 748 owners know what I'm talking about when I say that the front end is a bit different. You have a bigger hole, you can see it, the bigger hole on top of the servo saver, so that is where the bushing comes in. And you have additional mount for the body post, for the fifth body post, and what you can see on the side is that you have two options, or you can add another belt tensioner for the long belt. So some of the 748 drivers had the issue that they lost the belt and they had to put on a bigger washer on the side to keep the belt on the under this belt tensioner, and that will help you to increase the performance in that way. So all plastic parts for radio equipment and stay the same. Also the receiver box is the same, and front wishbone, as I said, it's coming from the basically the 977 style. You can see it here. They are closed, and from the bottom you can insert a plastic part to close them. And there will be some optionals made from carbon fiber, so that you can play around with the hardness of the wishbones. We have the rear shock tower, which is basically from the upper part it's the same compared to the 748, but on the front or the lower part you can see that it's much shorter. That's because of some parts of the rear were changed, and front bumper carbon plate, and front shock tower, everything the same compared to 748. Big bore shocks, as I said, the same compared to 748, and two-speed assembly, and maybe we can have a short look at the chassis. You can see it's completely symmetrical. Don't know if that's the right word, but it's basically very nice looking, by the way, with a 750 engraving, laser engraving on the bottom, and the longer part for the weight you can put to the front or to the rear isn't divided anymore, so you can use it from the front to the rear without removing the screws. And here at the rear you have the CNC machining for the diff, for the rear diff, and also for the front belt. You can see that was also an issue with the 748. Some guys they used the Dremel to improve that, and now it's basically in the kit already. Quick look. Diff, rear diff, the same as I said compared to 748. 2-speed assembly also completely the same. The clutch, Syntax clutch, as always, also the same. Battery holder, rear holder for the radio plate and everything, belt tensioner, also everything the same. And which I like most about the 750 is, if you had a look at the cars of Dominic, there are also some pictures online you can have a look at, and you may already saw all the black parts in that on that car, and there were several people who asked Serpent for making black parts, I think, and now most of the aluminium parts are black anodized, so give them a very sharp look, I think. So yeah, rear uprights also the same, and camber link mount on the rear also fits from 748. Yeah, front upper arms do also fit, and yeah, that's the rear bearing holder for the diff. So maybe you can see the biggest difference here when you're coming from the 748, and very nice looking black anodized with some machining on that. Very nice. I'm really waiting for putting all together and having a look at the car when it's assembled. And yeah, it was my first video for YouTube, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you like to have some more details on the 750, please feel free to ask in the comments below, and I will try to make another video if there are people who would like to see some more. And yeah, please join the Facebook group. It's called Serpent Natrix 748 750, basically, so that also people driving 748 and 750 can talk together and share some setup info and so on. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it, and you can wait for the next video. I think it will be shocks or the clutch maybe. Yeah.